Let it be spread abroad, Almighty One. Let light and love and power and death fulfill the purpose of the coming one. The will to save is here. The love to carry forth the work is widely spread abroad. The active aid of all who know the truth is also here. Come forth, Almighty One, and blend these three. Construct a great defending wall. The rule of evil now must end.
Okay, so we are live and beginning a teaching. Thank you all for attending. Today I'm going to teach on healing, and I've been teaching about the red light therapy and the use of cold laser therapy and how that affects our ability to heal and regenerate. Yeah, in most cases, when we deal with, when we think of healing, and we're thinking of, doctors, usually. And when we go there, they run blood tests on us and say they got to do an x-ray and, and come up with this, with the complaints that I have, here and there, and with those particular x-rays and everything, they come to a belief, a prognosis, and a diagnosis. And then they begin treating. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be pharmacological, something to suppress the symptoms. And sometimes something to alleviate the inflammation for the pain. And chemotherapy, if it's cancer, or radiation. Not good. Not good. When you go to the doctor, you'd like to be healed. That's what you're going there for. That's you're not used to that yet, but get used to it, because that's what you're going to bring about. You need to do more than heal. You need to regenerate. You need to take care of the process of what's called aging, which in reality is a disease caused by a lot of stress, a lot of glandular weakness, a lot of lack of circulation, a lot of high blood sugar, high blood pressure. All those symptoms, as we get older, they have worse and worse outcomes. They can lead to a heart attack, to a stroke, to any form of cancer. They can lead to dementia. Yeah, and all these things are called old age. They're not considered an illness or a disease. They're considered what we should know to happen to people. They lose their memory after 70 or so. And they can't remember places or events. They can't remember where they put things. And they can't even remember the things that they had. Because their brain is deteriorating and it's getting smaller. Doctor isn't going to talk to you about that. They can't do anything about it until it's too bad, until you're falling over and you're shuffling your feet and you cannot walk and you can't think very well at all. And now you go to the doctor, and the doctor will go, oh, you have dementia. Or Alzheimer's. Depends on the symptoms and everything. So they're going to diagnose it. But then what are they going to do? Tell the wife or the husband to hang in there. It's going to be hard. They're going to get worse quickly. And they're going to need more of your help. And you're going to get ill and weak and tired. And it's going to make you age. And the doctor's not going to help in any way, shape, or form. Not even a little bit. They'll just send you home. Recommend vitamins. See if your blood sugar's too high, maybe change that. See if you need a CPAP, give you that. But they're not going to heal the dementia. And they're not going to heal the Alzheimer's. And they're not going to heal the degeneration of your mitochondria. And they're not even going to talk to you about it. And that's your problem. You're aging. And you've done nothing about it. You go to school and you're not taught a thing. You're not taught to eat a proper diet, which would be extremely low carb. Never have any symptom of diabetes, so that doesn't become a chronic issue. And go into the many layers of what causes your aging. So yeah, you could prevent that at childhood. And you could work out and not join any sports. But work out, train, no sports. Nothing that would allow you to hurt your head, break a bone, fracture your spine. All those things happen in football, baseball, basketball. Baseball gives you shoulder injuries for the rest of your life, knee injuries for the rest of your life, hip injuries for the rest of your life. Football gives you injuries throughout all your body, including concussion. And we don't have just one league, we have many leagues all the way going down to little kids. So prevention is not any part of our life. Any part of it. You go to a doctor and they're outside smoking a cigarette. You know, have a bottle of whiskey in the drawer. You know, and they're hired by the pharmaceutical company to not get any further education, not look into alternative medicine. That would be stupid. You would be looked down upon by your coworkers, by other doctors. The AMA would question you as to your credibility as a doctor to maintain your license. So that sure would hold you back from becoming a healer. Getting a license as a doctor is one of the first things you can do to stop being a healer. Same with psychology. You go into psychology, you study it, and then you find out that it's illegal to help homosexuals. It's illegal. And it's becoming illegal to help children whose mothers and fathers and aunts and grandmothers are recruiting to be transgender or gay. Talk them into wearing their opposite gender clothing. We don't have a big process yet when it comes down to our responsibility. We have a responsibility to our body, because it's a temple. And we don't look at it that way. We go to the church, we become Catholic, we go off and be Muslim or something and think that we did it. We are serving God now. Just like thinking we're going to the doctor and we're going to get healed. Or we're going to go to the church and we're going to get spiritual. We're going to get, in some way, redeemed of our obvious shortcomings, our hate, our anger, our jealousy, our enviousness, our greed, our stealing, our manipulation of other people, our lies, our corruption, our gossip. Those are just common, everyday, go through the day process. And you have to fix that. You're responsible for stopping it because it's unhealthy. And anything unhealthy makes the world unhealthy. We can't teach kids if we haven't taught ourselves. And the doctors don't let us teach ourselves. So much so to where we don't know what our body can do. We don't know that it regenerates. Yeah. There are some that do. Yeah. Scientists who have found it out. Researchers, alternative practitioners, studying, researching, helping people to make choices and seeing the results. That has really made major changes over the last 20 years. It introduced light therapy, red light therapy. And it was heard that, red light therapy helps with pain, with circulation and inflammation. It allows the area to heal faster. These are all witnessed experiences because we haven't had a lot of scientific verification of any of this because the doctors don't believe in it. And it's self-healing. You don't go to a hospital for self-healing. So how are they going to keep going? And you don't go to a doctor for self-healing. How are they going to keep going? What's going to justify them telling you that you could heal yourself? And searching, because they're healers, because they're doctors, and you have all this ability to research and help people, help themselves. It's like they say, if you want to help a person get over starvation, you don't just give them fish every day. You teach them to fish. So we need to step up and see what it is that's going on around. That's what I'm here for, to share the quickening of humanity that's being moved by the reincarnation of Christ, and it's bringing together the teaching that allows people to actually spiritually become clearer, healed, less frustrated, less hateful, less angry, less foggy in the brain due to traumatized reality, concussions, military. Those two things alone lead men, mainly men, into circumstances that they can't control. Violent outbursts, extreme depression, suicidal thoughts. Look it up. Who's committing suicide more than anyone on earth? Men. Men. A lot more. Because they have many different things that's happened throughout their life because they're male. They're expected to play football. They're expected to do all kinds of active sports that are dangerous. They're expected to go in the military at 18. They're expected to do all the hardest jobs in the world. They're expected to climb the highest pole and change the electrical lines. And they do. That's who does it. 99.9% are all men. Now, things go wrong in industries, in technology, in very big time, like oil wells and, big machinery stuff. Places where they make steel, places where they bend steel, places where they make cars. Really big machinery. Kill people, injure people, traumatize people for the rest of their lives. Broken back, head injury, loss of a hand, a limb. Very common in a man's life. In a man's life, it's very common to see men without limbs because they were in the military or they had a very hard job and they didn't make it. We have to learn, and we're going to. We're going to apply most of the very difficult, hard things that are dangerous for humanity to robotic processes. And that's the way it's planned out. It's not that robots are going to take over the world. They're going to take over the jobs that men are dying at, where they have terrible, toxic environment. The smell of oil, the smell of gas, the fumes of toxins in every industry is overwhelming. Humans should not be in that enclosed environment. It's going to get you sooner or later. It's going to cause dementia. It's going to cause all kinds of things. And no one's letting us know this. It's not for, a company, desire to tell you that the job they're giving you killed the last guy. That won't be mentioned. But that's how it works in a man's world, in a man's life. It's dangerous, and it's a hostile environment. So I'm here to help out a bit. We need to know that we can heal, and we need to begin learning about how we heal, and we need to begin applying ourselves to become healers. There's so many things, devices, that I am helping people get and develop have them come into their lives. And it brings about healing that we go to the doctor for, right? Right, we go to the doctor. We have this great big cut on our knee. We've had surgery on our knee, yeah? And, they give us all these antibiotics and everything because they're not that good. Yeah, and they're pretty bad, actually. And leaves you really big scars with lots of scar tissue, inflammation, and a lack of ability to bend that knee. Because that's the way it healed, because you went to a doctor. And the doctor doesn't know how to heal it after he does the surgery. No idea. They put a little bacitracin on there and they find out that's not a good idea, but they did it for 60 years. So what would you use to heal that knee? So many things you can use to heal that knee. Here's some advanced red light therapy. Yeah, this is called Light Path LED. And they put out this device that I like a lot. Yeah, and there are two of these. One is a mini red light. And then there's this other company that puts one out. It's called a Kala Red Light Mini. Now look at that, it's $283. And yet, compare it to this one, this is $259. And this has more power to it. Yeah. So I advise, look at that one. It's the Light Path LED that is the best units out. And the company that works with it is called Biomax. And they designed, this is a motorized stand that you put your panels on. And it allows you to focus on any area in your body. Yeah, you could focus with these smaller panels here. Yeah, they go from $659 to up to close to $1,200. And the way it works is that you add these to the stand, and you would maybe put 4 of those panels connected together on a stand. And that creates a very powerful light system that you can treat yourself with. And the amount of energy, that frequencies that you're seeing here, different frequencies that are activated from the light. This is called platinum LED. Those frequencies that come through this really large unit penetrates your whole body. So if you have You have problems with your knees, you have problems with your back, you have problems with glucose, with your sugar in your body, how to get rid of that. Well, you'll find that when you get into light therapy, you'll find that light therapy has the ability to enhance and grow new mitochondria. Mitochondria is really important. Yeah. Because mitochondria is inside of all the cells, all throughout our body. And it's the beginning growth. When we first started on this earth as life, we started as mitochondria. It was a slimy one-cell structure. And it divided. And it became all that we see today. But what made it grow was the mitochondria. It's the powerhouse. It's where cells are regenerated. Yeah. New cells, DNA, all of it is structured through the mitochondria and the ATP. So you add red light to the body, and the first thing you find is very enhanced growth of mitochondria. Not just in the area that you're focusing the light, but throughout the body, especially in the area you need it. You transmit the red light any location in the body, and it will be transmitted throughout the body, affecting all the injured areas and growing more mitochondria. So imagine your whole body weight is ATP. That's how much you're supposed to grow in a day. Yeah. And when we're kids, we do that. Yeah. When we're teenagers, we do that. When we're a 20-year-old, we do that. But when we reach 30, we don't do that as much. It's harder for us to regenerate new cells. So they stack up and become toxicity in the body. Dead cells. Nowhere to go. They're just in the liver, they're in our pancreas, they're stuck in our kidney. A lot of shit happens. Calcium starts building up. It goes into our arteries. Calcium deposits everywhere. Yeah, because we don't have a proper means of disposal. And mitochondria does that. Mitochondria also is a storage place for glucose, glycogen. What happens there is that literally the body makes its own glucose. And it's stored in the mitochondria. And that's stored in the muscles. So the muscles have an enormous amount of glucose. So you don't have to eat carbohydrates to get glucose. We actually manufacture it if we have good mitochondria. And we won't get diabetic from it. Yeah. We'll utilize our fat, we'll utilize our glucose reserves, and we'll have energy, a lot of energy. And that's what mitochondria and ATP is all about, giving us energy. Because without that, we start getting old. So by the time you're 50 years old, instead of developing your whole body weight of ATP, you're developing only 2/3 at best. If you were to work out hard, you'll build more mitochondria and ATP. If you were to fast, you would build more mitochondria and ATP. If you were to eat a low-carb diet, and minimal protein, you would increase your daily ATP and your mitochondria. There are certain herbs that you could take as a tea. There are foods that you could eat that increase your mitochondria. And there's a lot of food you have to avoid because it literally wipes out your mitochondria. Vegetable oils and things like that are not good. So imagine you start getting this light therapy. You buy yourself a few units. And within the next year or so, new light therapy will be coming out. A company called Chroma. Chroma is a highly advanced light therapy system where they are working on finding out what it is in all the colors of the sun, what it is in each one of those colors, in each one of those frequencies. What does it do to our body? So this is called a Lux Vital OPSN activation. And the thing is that we don't know anything about OPSN, nothing. And OPSN, it penetrates, it activates through protein, light-sensitive proteins that are found in our body. And they stimulate melatonin and many other glandular situations. They're called OPN3, OPN4, OPN5. Yeah. And no doctor knows about any of this stuff. But it's real. It's our science. It's what we are. We are light. Yeah, it's easy for us to look at a tree, and because we're taught that trees work with photosynthesis, but we're not sure how. But we know it does work. And we know that certain frequencies of light do best. So we've learned from that. We've learned to trust the truth, to take apart what it is in our doubting mind. That probably wouldn't do anything. You know, going out in the sun, that causes cancer. Well, what happens if you break down all these different colors and spectrums and utilize them? And we're finding that we can make a system that builds vitamin D without taking pills, without worrying about whether or not we'll go outside. Vitamin D. Yep. And this is a brand new product. This is what's been developed over the last 15 years. And it's only been in the last 2 years that the types of LED lights and the science that backs up what each one does was able to put into a system, a device, that would do very specific things. So this is the Chroma D light. And then there's this one. It's the Iron Forge, and it's the same thing with the most powerful LED lights that they put into a system. So it will penetrate all the way to your bones, into your cartilage, affecting your vitamin D, affecting your regeneration. And that's the key. That's the main thing you need to understand. You won't understand it for a couple years until you start regenerating. You don't know that that's really what we do. We don't degenerate. We regenerate. Yeah? Because we understand the science of God, how God creates everything. We co-create. But you have to do this my way. Yeah, because there's an understanding that comes with, the 7 rays and all the stuff that I talk about, and the healing aspects of light, sound, vibration, frequency. All those things, magnetism, all of that has very powerful healing effects. So over time, that's what I'm going to be teaching. And I'm going to be directing you to companies and individuals who are making these products. And so that you can put them in your hands, put them in your home, treat your children, treat your husband, treat your wife, treat your employees, treat your friends, treat your neighbors. All this stuff is incredibly useful in the process of learning to be a human being. This mini red light, you can see up in the left-hand corner where you see the mini red light. You can see it has a digital display and 5 buttons. And far to the left is a switch that turns it on and off. Those 5 buttons regulate pulse. This pulses. It regulates which mode are you in. Are you in red light? Are you in near red light? Are you in a combination of red light and near red light? And is it pulsing? So each one of these buttons, the middle button does the things to change it from red light to near red light to a combination. And then the button up to the top, to the right, that one sets pulsing, at what level of pulsing. And then the one over to the left is the one that sets the amount of time. And then the bottom one tells you your battery charge, how much battery charge. And the one to the right at the bottom is the on button. And it has a timer that allows it to go from 5 to 10, 15, 20, 30, and 90 minutes. So you can literally do a treatment for 90 whole minutes, and you're going to find out that that is really important. And you don't get it until you get to these new, more developed devices. And that device has come out now. Let me grab that. Okay, let me just find that real quick. So this one is called a mini combo, and it's just like the mini that I showed you. Let me just put this in there. All right. So this is the one I like the most. This is called a mini combo. And as you can see, it's only $299. And if you look around all the other ones that I showed you, they're pretty expensive. And they're pretty much expensive to this level. But what you're getting with this is a combination of blue light, which is something you don't get. And it has blue light, red, and near infrared. So that's 3 different frequencies, along with pulse and combination. You can combine the near infrared, the red, and the blue. You can combine the near infrared and just the blue, and you can combine the red with the near infrared. Great, amazing technological advancement that you could do with this. And this is extremely powerful and allows it to run for 90 minutes at a session, that far, that high. So you can set that on your body in any location and keep moving it around, and you'll get a whole body light treatment. You know, and it's only $299. You know, so this is what I recommend that you do first, is get this. You can treat your brain. You can lay it on your brain. You can put it on your forehead, back of your head, the top of your head, the sides of your head. You can radiate your face with the red and blue and heal all the little pimples you got and be able to create more collagen. There is so much that comes out of this. You know, you need to apply it or you won't know what I'm talking about. You know, it's really important. And we really, you know, people don't understand, you know, the degree in which this is going on. You know, the how the light works, you know, what it's doing, how active it plays a part in your regeneration. You need the light. You need the light. Yeah. And if you can look at the Bible and read what it says there. And it says, in the beginning, there was darkness. Yeah. And there was no life. No life. Yeah. And then God created light. And he then created matter from that light. And he created life from the light. Yeah. So in the Bible, it tells us the science of God. It tells us. And if we try and apply the light that he's talking about is the light from the sun. That's the light. And that light, we need to study it. Study ourselves. Radiate ourselves with that light in very powerful ways. What we're finding is that you could take near infrared at such a powerful wattage, it will pass through your entire body out the other side and do no harm. Not one bit of harm. All it does is activate healing. Amazing. So in the next teaching, I am going to cover the process of more of the LED lights, and ones that you can get, ones that are different than what's out. Right now, what's out there is pretty out there kind of stuff. And what we need is the ability for us to get this light into our life. You know, we need to spend hours a day, putting light into our body. Hours. And then we need to move to magnetism. You know, frequency generated magnetism. It's good for the body. It's good for the brain. When you do a magnetic treatment on the brain, it literally stops all the chaos that's going on in the brain, which is misfiring, synaptic misfiring, synapse not firing, causing an enormous amount of difficulty in mental and physical abilities. So you treat with this magnetic device, and it immediately takes a person with Parkinson's whose hands are shaking, body is shaking, unable to walk, while they're being treated, their hands start shaking. They can talk without problems. They can stand without leaning to the side and falling over. That's just from one magnetic treatment. Children with ADHD, with all kinds of problems, taken care of. But go to the doctor with this stuff. And the doctor goes, oh, I don't know. Let's try this, let's try that. None of it works. But medicine is starting to use magnetism, and they're starting to use red light therapy. They're starting to use cold laser therapy. It's been 20 years since medicine has started using this. And it's just now starting to take off. But it's not because of medicine. It's because individuals like yourself are deciding that what I'm saying is true. They don't have to hear it from me. Our ability to self-heal is verifiable. And that should be the biggest earth-changing subject that we should ever take on, is the fact that we can regenerate all of our body every bit of it. An old tired lung can be brand new. Dysfunctional kidneys, if you do it right, they'll regenerate. If you don't, you're going to lose them. You have to apply all of this. Get your red light therapy, get your diet down to keto, do some fasting. It's an individual thing. It's not that every person has to do all these things, but yet they do. But it's an individual thing. It's a choice we must make as a person. Not because someone tells us to, or because someone else did it. We have to wise up, take responsibility for our life, and live a wise lifestyle. Being actively involved in our regeneration, learning more every year, applying more every year. At least 2 hours of intense red light therapy is necessary. Cranial photomodulation, absolutely necessary. From childhood on, to grow the brain, just to grow the brain, to give it the opportunity to grow. But we don't, and there's an enormous number of stupid people out there. Real stupid and getting stupider. If you just follow what I'm saying, carry it out for a few years, your IQ will go up dramatically. Your cognitive ability will become much more balanced. Your hormonal balance, which comes through your brain, will be integrated. And it'll have abilities to heal. Your lymphatic system. I'm going to show you ways in which you can properly treat your lymphatic system. And it's not massage. It's absolutely accurate devices that allows you to move your lymphatic system to an open flow, ending 80% of potential cancers. And they just found out that the brain has a lymphatic system. Duh. And if you start doing the things that I'm telling you, your brain lymphatic system will be purified. It's just sitting there with stagnant, dying tissue in the lymphatic system because there's constantly dying tissue going on in our body. And the lymphatic system is to move it so it leaves the body. And the mitochondria and all that is to grow new tissue, new cells. And if we do the light, and if we try fasting, now fasting's a difficult one because if I say fasting, people start thinking it's a spiritual requirement. It's not. It's not. It's a level in which you can take control of yourself. And you got to take your time. Because you're under the illusion that you're already in control of yourself. Or you're under the illusion that you're completely out of control and there's no way you're ever going to get into control of this. Either one, not going to help you. So I just make recommendations. Use the red light. Use these therapies. Get healed more and more every day. Your mind will get clearer. You'll make better decisions. And in time, you will be able to fast. Not just for one day, but a week. And it's not hard. You can see people eating around you. You can cook. You can do all kinds of things while you're fasting. It does not affect your desire to have to eat. Fasting really doesn't do that. It leaves you in a state of peace. You're just not eating. That entertainment that goes through your day is gone. So you need to be able to have a lifestyle that entertains you as self-healer and get through your day being very busy, doing all your treatments, and the fasting will be monumentally helpful in those therapies. And you're going to be aware of that. And you're going to behave wisely and get good results because you're wiser. You're the doctor. You're the guru. Gee, you are you. So let's do a meditation. I was going to mention a little bit about Mr. Trump. Very little, because we all know he's in hell. And he is sitting in hell. He has no way out of hell. And he died quite a long time ago, so he's decaying in front of everybody. But because he's evil, as evil can get, and he's a witch, his main interest is to stay alive and do evil as long as possible. So that's his will. That's his only will, is to stay alive. And, do evil. And he is. But he's not getting what he wants out of life. He's conned his wife. He's conned all the women he was with. And he's conned everybody. But this is it for Melania. She is an extremely evil person. And she's so contemptuous in her pride and illusion and delusion of beauty that she can't see truth. She can't see the fact that everybody else could see. She can't see it. So what she has to have, because Melania is a fifth ray personality, and I know many of you don't know anything about the rays, but you would never think of her as a fifth ray personality if you studied it. But she is. That's why she's a model. That's why she focuses on her body in a constructive way. Not in a positive, constructive way, but in constructing her body. She won't allow it to be any different than what she chooses. So she does a lot of plastic surgery. She does a lot of Botox and all of those things. And, as much, no exercise, nothing like that. But, beauty cleansers, things of that nature. She goes to the spa every day. She lives at a spa. So and she's 100% into LGBT, drag queens, transgender, transvestites, the whole bit. She's lost it. She's gone. And she cannot deal with the fact that her husband raped a little girl and 13 years old, and she can't deal with the fact that he raped a lady, in a dressing room, and she can't deal with the fact that he was having sex and dating and living with a Playboy model while she was pregnant. But guess what? There's a trial right now, and all these people are walking into the trial, and they're talking to Melania, telling her the truth. I was Trump's girlfriend We lived at this place. We slept in his bed where Melania sleeps. And when she wasn't home, his girlfriend slept there, which was his second wife. Not married, but this lady was in love with him, and he was in love with her. And he pursued her and really wanted her. But he already made his commitment to Melania. She got pregnant, which was totally unplanned. So now she's finding out that Stormy Daniels is real. And she did have sex with her husband. And he did pay off the lady in order to become president and to keep it out of the news of her wife. And he also had sex for over a year and a half with a Playboy model. And all that comes out very clearly, very factually. What hotel they stayed at, what days they slept together, all of that. Because this is evidence, and they need it, because he says he never did it. So because he's on trial, we have to show evidence, and that's what's going on. And she is spending a great deal of time watching him in court. That's why she's not in court, because she knows that this is going to come out. So that's what's happening to her. And he's getting his too. Every way up and down you could ever imagine. He's farting. He's stinking up the room. He's falling asleep because he has no mitochondria. He makes probably around 10 pounds of mitochondria in a day. Eating and drinking Diet Cokes and eating Big Macs, that's not going to get you a lot of mitochondria. Being real evil is not going to get you a lot of mitochondria. Never working out is not going to get you any mitochondria. Never fasting. Never controlling his diet. No. He's no different than anyone else, and he's going to find that out right now. He is deteriorating before your eyes. And I'm making that happen. And he is being judged and made to tell the truth, even though it's not going to come out of his mouth. It will come out of witnesses' mouths, which will solidify the truth. Even though it's never going to come out of his mouth, he will be judged for it, and he will pay for the crime. That's pretty heavy. And that's going to happen. So let's stick together and relax and get your focus on. Start healing. Don't worry about Trump. He's never going to be president again. He's going to prison. He's just wasting all the money of Republicans, all the Republicans, governors, mayors, senators, congressmen, all of them that wanted to be voted for this next election. They counted on the RNC. They counted on the Republican National Committee. And all that money is now going through his daughter-in-law. And that goes to him. Meaning that no one's going to get elected. Republicans won't get elected. They did it to themselves. So you don't have much to worry about. We will have many, many presidents from here on out. And you will find out why. And the world will be cleansed, and new sciences will come forth quickly as Donald Trump dies over the next 5 years. 5 years. That's 5 years in hell. 5 years. Every day he gets weaker, farts more, poops his pants every day. What comes out of his mouth smells like his ass. So he hasn't got a place to hide. If he opens his mouth, all that stuff comes out. And if he doesn't, he farts, and he can't hold it back. If he gets a little bit upset, he shits himself. What can you do? So let's do a puja. Okay, just relax. You can close your eyes and just listen to the puja. And then once it gets going, I'm going to begin doing Om. And when I do, we'll all do Om together. So just relax into it. Okay, just relax. So in self-healing, we have a lot of things that go on in our life we don't think we can be healed from because doctors can't do anything. Obviously, we can't do anything. We can. Say you get a cold sore. You get sores on your mouth. Well, you can do some things about it. But you can use red light. And these things cost only a couple $100, and they last you your life if they don't break. You know, so you could treat you, your friends, your family. This is your medical kit. And those are some pretty bad sores. And we can use a mini combo like this and treat our whole entire body. There's even the treatment of losing hair. What do people do when you start losing hair? Well, red light therapy has been found to grow hair back. And that's not common. Certainly not what we're expecting. So now there are very good devices out there. I wouldn't go to Amazon and get something for it. But I would go to Mito Light. And let's see if I can find it. I think I have it here. Let's see, just a minute. So this is another device I wanted to show you. And this device over here in the corner, that's called a Mito Mobile Super. And what that is, it's the same as those two other devices right next to it. And it's a handheld red light therapy system. And this does so much, it's just shocking. I mean, it'll wake you up in the morning. It's good for going to sleep. It has a red light that goes into the room. So your whole room is radiated with red light an hour before you go to bed. And this creates, a situation to where you are able to develop your melatonin, slow down your influence of activity of mind, and increase your ability to get your melatonin up, regulate your circadian, and do therapy at the same time. This device It has, you see the little monitor over to the right. It has many different options there. And it'll literally play music. So, and it'll put a white light out into the room in the early morning, and gives you that light spectrum of sunlight coming through the window, waking you up. And that's good for your circadian. And then you have a nighttime sleep, which is the red light that beams into the room an hour before you go to bed. And that helps to regulate your circadian. This is very, very important. And then it has near infrared, red light therapy, and pulsing. So you use this in any area that you have a problem, and you're doing red light therapy with one unit. This unit wakes you up, puts you to sleep, helps you with your circadian. It does so much, so much. So I definitely recommend it. And then there's another one. And this is for hair loss. And the thing about hair loss is that, for one thing, we don't know that we can heal hair loss. We don't know this. So we can. So here we're looking at what's known as a mito red light laser LED helmet, and that's for hair. And then we have another one that's a mito red light pro laser, and that's a helmet. One is $495, the other one is $895. Obviously, the $895 is got more LED lights. It also has near infrared, and which is the one that I recommend and I got for here. And so if anybody needs that particular therapy, this is the best one, the Mito red light helmet. Yeah. And right next to that is the Mito Mind. And that's a helmet that has the LEDs in it, and both works on the red light LED, and it works on near infrared, and it pulses. So it runs through a program that has been established using red light therapy in photomodulation, cranial photobiomodulation. And in doing that, they created a science that allows you to set a program into this helmet in that monitor that you see that comes with it. So you set that program up and the lights go on and you start getting treated all over your brain. And you start growing brain cells. A lot. And if you have Parkinson's, it will heal it. If you have anxiety, problem with cranial, from a stroke, problems with injuries from military or from sports, this goes in and heals it. Yeah. So let's say you want to treat your hair. You got to be really patient. It takes 2 years of doing it every single day for at least 1 hour a day, every day. And what that does is that there's a 7-year cycle in our body for all of our cells, and they regenerate by nature on a 7-year cycle. So when we enter into something like this and we start treating ourselves, we're entering into that cycle. So it takes 1 year to 2 years for the regenerative aspects of your cells to kick in. And hair starts growing. Follicles start getting little tiny hair follicles, and that's in the first year. And you keep doing it every single day. And by the second year, you have areas that had no hair whatsoever are starting to get small little hair follicles. And after about a year, year and a half, they grow into thicker hair. Yeah. So your hair starts filling in. And that's difficult. That's, I mean, you got to go do some transplantations or something to get that to happen. But this works. And not only does it help your hair, it helps your brain. Because you're treating the area of your skull. It may not pass all the way through the skull, but it will pass through the circulatory system. And it'll allow more circulation, which is what's allowing the hair follicles to grow and the mitochondria to be developed. So this is something that I really do recommend, because there's just everybody just goes, let's just shave the head. I'm starting to go bald. I'm going to shave my head now. Everybody's doing it. Doesn't look bad. It doesn't. But let's try and keep our hair. Let's try and keep our body. Yeah. So then there's another one for women. And it's a device that is used in the vagina. Let's see, I got it. It's by the Chroma. Yeah, here it is. It's called the Purple Wand. And it's an OPSIN. Yeah, so that's what I was saying. In the Chroma, those people are developing technologies with red light therapy at different frequencies and at a pretty high rate of wattage, so it penetrates really well. Well, this goes into the vagina and reaches through the vagina, all the vagina walls, and into the reality of everything to do with hormonal factors that are involved with the vagina. Dryness, lack of sensitivity, oversensitivity, all those things. But not only that, it affects the ureter, where you pee. And many people have incontinence. And using this every single day, try and work up to 1 hour a day. It's a good standard to start at 20 minutes for a good 2 or 3 weeks, and then add on to 30 minutes, 45 minutes, up to an hour. And that way you're giving yourself the time for the light to penetrate and begin regenerative processes. And it will effectively go directly into your anal canal. It'll go through the vagina. It'll go and affect the kidneys. It'll affect the ureter. It'll affect the intestines. It will radiate up to 6 to 8 inches into those areas. So that's wonderful for women, that you have something like this that you could use to heal, regenerate, and experience the rest of your life with joy, without all the enormous amount of uncomfortableness, hot flashes, dryness, oversensitivity. Just simply makes you feel as though you don't want anything to do with anything. You just want to get through your day. And if you have incontinence, it's always a worry. Yeah? And these are stresses that are building up in you. You need to heal these things to get rid of those stresses and get rid of that life that is building up on you. Yeah? And this works. You've got to be consistent. Yeah? It is the right tool. It will do the job. is highly effective. Yeah. So for women, I recommend this one. All right, so that's it for today. Everybody just get your light therapy together. If you can't, in Omaha, we have light therapy and we offer it to anybody who comes in. And in Shambhala, we have light therapy and we offer it to anybody who comes in. And here in Maui, we're opening up a light therapy center, and it'll be offered to anybody. And so the opportunities are there. If you haven't got the money to go buy it, we're setting it up to where if you come to us, we will do it for you. Yeah. And if you are in enormous need, we will provide you with some light therapy you can take home so that you can get help. This works. Yeah. So thank you all for attending this class, and start working on your future. And your future is old age. There's no doubt about it. And that's a very bad time. So let's focus on our responsibility to take care of our old age, ourselves. Put ourselves in the best position we could ever be in our old age. I have shown you that we are designed to live over 900 years. So if you apply what I'm saying to your life, the first couple of 100 years are going to be a shock. And after that, it's life. It's what life is. Regeneration. And when it's time to go, it's time to go. And that's all there is to it. But we're not meant to live 30 or 40 or 50 years and die a horrifying death. And live until old age and never remember our life when we die. Because we have dementia, we have Alzheimer's, and we've forgotten everything. It's all gone now. That's not good. You want your memories. You want them till the last breath. Okay, so everybody, bless you and thank you very much for attending. Enjoy.